What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the... Wait, what episode are we on? 6?
Yeah, 6.
We're on episode 6 of the Cedric and Lou Show, and we are back in the car. We are doing our second in the car episode. And this time it's me that's driving, so Cedric's making sure that the microphone is always close to our mouths, and he's in charge of that today. So
Yeah, I'm basically just like holding everything. I'm gonna read out the questions that Louis prepared. I'm just like the assistant today.
No, you're not. You're an equal part of the show. We are equal parts of the show. The show wouldn't happen if we weren't both here.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. No, so this is the 6th episode of
Wait, hold up. For everyone that's watching, I love how the microphone just like wobbles around in the picture. It's just like this bobble that's in the picture. Yeah. But anyway,
yeah, episode 6. Last episode, I told you about my my crash with the bike, which was funny. Yeah. It wasn't so funny, but the story was funny. Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. Like that story made me laugh. I could really picture you driving your bike and then just falling. Kind of made my day.
Yeah. No, we are actually on our way home from a family event today, because our aunt and uncle, they are having a baby, so we are going to be getting another cousin soon, which is crazy.
Yeah, like we basically don't have any cousins except for the one that
that literally just came.
Yeah,
in.
It's already been a while. How old is he? Like one and a half.
I think he was born March last year. So,
yeah. Damn.
A little bit older.
Time goes by in Corona.
Time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so we found out that it's gonna be a girl. Very, very exciting. And yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited. We had one of those like super standard baby shower parties today, where they popped a balloon and then the pink confetti came out, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, there's not much. Oh my God, we have to talk about this. Cedric whipped me when we went go-karting the other day.
Ooh, that
was rough.
That was
All right, let me picture the story. All right, so it's Sunday. I'm at home, relaxed, trying to chill before it's Monday and you have to go back to work. And Cedric sends me a DM. He slides into my DMs on Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, bro, listen up." I just saw this post on Instagram of this go-karting arena. And they had a happy hour thing going on a Sunday night from like 8 onwards until like midnight, I think.
Yeah, like 7, 8ish.
Yeah. And he was like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "I'm not doing anything. What about you?" And so we super spontaneously decided to meet like halfway between Stuttgart and Munich, to go-karting. And we were both super stoked because we play Formula 1 a lot, and you guys know we are racing geeks, and we just love literally every aspect. And we were like, "Oh my God, it's been forever since we've been go-karting." And so we both drive there, and it was pretty insane. We get there, and we check in and all, and we had to wait a bit until the next Grand Prix. But then it was our turn, and we went into qualifying. And yeah, I was the last to go out. You were the first to go out, and I was stuck behind a rather slow competitor.
Yeah, he was stuck behind a rather slow competitor, and I was stuck behind him. So
yeah, because Cedric was the first one out.
Yeah.
So he lapped, and then he was stuck behind me in qualifying. And but I managed to get P3 in qualifying, which was pretty nice. I was elated from like 10 competitors, and you got P4, so we were in a pretty good position to start in. Yeah, that was a lot better than I would have expected.
Yeah.
And then the race begins, and Cedric tries to take me on the outside, and I close the door on him, and then we continue on for a bit, and I managed to keep up with P1 and P2 quite a bit, and Cedric drops back, but then at one point I just lost the flow. I had a couple of turns that weren't so nice, and like before I knew it, Cedric was he was literally on my ass, chasing me down this track, and I was sweating. Like I had these I had sweat in my eyebrows, yeah. And
Tears.
exactly. And then luckily, P2 had a bit of a mistake, and he dropped back, and Cedric and I managed to overtake him. But during the overtake, Cedric had a better line, and then he took me as well. So that put him into P2 and me into P3. And we were racing. P1 was far gone. Cedric was like, he was gaining time on me. He was just flying. I don't know what he was doing, but I had absolutely zero chance of keeping up with it. It was unbelievable. He was having such a great drive, and I was like, okay, whatever, just get back into the rhythm of things. And P4, that was previously P2, he was on my ass then. And Cedric somehow managed to get into P1. He took P1. It was absolutely no big deal. It was at one point I just saw him out in front, and I was like, how did that just happen? I'm trying to keep my P3 here, staying on the podium, and he's just like, woohoo, easy peasy lemon breezy down in P1. And then it went down to the penultimate lap, and in the penultimate lap, P4 actually gave me a little touch on the end that put me into the barrier, and I had to reverse out of it, which put me into P4, unfortunately. But that was our first time in a long time doing a Grand Prix, and props to Cedric for getting P1 there, especially with 10 competitors that seemed to be not amateurs, because they had like racing gloves and their own racing helmets. So that was a fun event, and we have to do this again.
Yeah,
soon.
like it was quite fun. Also the fight for P1, that was intense. I remember because I was stuck behind this guy for like 3 laps, and I was really on his ass. I was like giving him small touches. I was like letting him know that I was there. I was like showing him presence, and like you could see that he was like getting nervous, because I was like, every time he kind of like closed the door, I like dropped back a tiny bit. But then I just kept like catching up to him, and he knew like I had the better pace and everything, and so like I basically took like 3-4 laps to get in front of him, because he was like blocking the door everywhere, and I was just like, come on, let me go by here, let me go by there. And then eventually like in this one hairpin corner, I just sent it into the corner. I was like,
How did you do that? Did you come in on the inside?
Yeah, like, cause the thing is, the corner before, I always had a great exit.
Hold on, wait. You can click this in here so it doesn't bobble as much.
Oh, you could have said that like 7 minutes ago, but it's fine.
Sorry,
Anyway, I think there was this one corner, and I always had a great exit, and so like I came in on the outside while he was on the inside, and I did like a cutback.
Oh, so you
and then
basically let him take the outside
exactly
line on the next one, and you came in on the outside.
Exactly, and then I had him like a bit on the inside. I couldn't like really catch up to him, but then I braked in like super late, and then he didn't have anywhere to go, because I like closed the door on him, and then I just spun around the corner and got him then. Nice. Like the first time I tried to do that, he actually like just turned into me and like absolutely like I had to do a full stop, because he just didn't leave me any space. But yeah.
Yeah, that's something like that I am not quite sure yet, because, you know, when I was racing the go-kart, I was obviously trying to be like respectful to the other drivers and not touch them, or not be like an asshole in an overtaking, like just shut the door completely. Yeah. Like, I don't know, whenever I'm racing, and also like if we race online, like we always leave space. It's because it sucks so much to be like to close the door on someone, even though you're like right in the overtaking procedure. So yeah, I don't know how that is in go-karting, because I don't think the people, they don't really care as much. They just like feel like whatever happens, I'm just gonna shut the door, whatever.
Yeah, like the thing is, it's like the track is so tight anyway.
Yeah.
And with that many curves, you don't really have many overtaking opportunities, and so I think everybody's just reckless.
Yeah, exactly. And then also in like the penultimate lap, the guy, he like literally put me into the barrier to get past me, and I was actually leaving him space. Like obviously I was taking the better line. Obviously I was taking my racing line, but I would never like shut the door on him if he was in a maneuver. So like if he tried to take the outside line, then I would be on the inside line, and we would fight side by side. But then it would be another like turn where I would be on the inside, and then I would just like claim the position again. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have to get used to that. Maybe I just have to be more reckless. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
We'll see next time.
We'll
see
see,
next
yeah.
time because a 1-4 finish. I can't have that. I need a because and then like shit goes to shit because I was usually a lot better in sim racing and I would always have like the top hand when it came down to it. But then, like, the last couple of days, we were playing F1, and he was just whipping me left, right, and center. Like, within, like, the first 3 laps, he would have, like, 3 or 4 seconds on me, and I was pushing really hard, so... Yeah. This guy. Next Lewis Hamilton.
No. Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm on a flow right now. I think the go-karting really got to me. And I'm like every time I like sim race or I do anything, I always just like I have this like tunnel vision now, and I just like put my head down and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Let's do it. That's awesome. But yeah,
enough about go-kart.
enough about go-karting. Let's go into 2 quick minutes with 20 quick drivers. Our favorite segment of this podcast and your least favorite segment. No, I want to do a quick session of 2 quick minutes with 20 quick drivers because, and this is important, our last podcast was about Paul Ricard. And since then, we've had 2 races at Austria. We've had the Styrian Grand Prix and we had the Austrian Grand Prix. And now we have to remember, because both races were very Red Bull dominant. But yeah, so what, like, let's just do it as usual. You get 30 seconds to tell me about your favorite incidents at Paul Ricard.
Paul Ricard? No.
Sorry, at
Spielberg.
At Spielberg.
Yeah. Spielberg, quick. Lando Norris, amazing. Like how consecutive he is. Like in the 2 races again, made it on a podium once.
Yep.
And almost on a podium the other time, like 4th or 5th. And just the consistency is amazing. Like he's such a good driver, and it's just like it's mind blowing. Russell, that broke my heart.
It broke my heart.
He like
it broke my heart.
He's been trying to get that 1 point for ages, like since the beginning of like his F1 career, and like he was so close. Like in the penultimate lap, he was still in the points.
Yeah.
And then in the final lap, Alonso got in front of him, and it was so heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking.
That was like, even though it was a midfield fight, it was the most like interesting thing about that.
Yeah.
And obviously, Red Bull, great weekend, or great 2 weekends. They were just dominant, especially in the second race. Like Max Verstappen was just.
He was flying.
Yeah, he was. I think he was like 30 seconds in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's insane. No, but I have to say, like my favorite moment was the moment when Mercedes allowed Bottas to fight Hamilton. I was like, holy shit! I never thought that I would see that in the remainder of Bottas's career.
Yeah.
And then what I've been really stoked about, and I think this fits perfectly into 2 quick minutes with 20 quick drivers, that there are rumors, and the rumors are getting more and more evident that Russell is going to be getting a seat at Mercedes, and I am so stoked for that.
Yeah.
That is, once that is announced, I'm gonna have a party. That's gonna be awesome, and I am so stoked for him. And then obviously, you know, I've got to say though, I did not expect, like when we started, I think I would argue that we said that Danny would be a lot better than Norris.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that just flipped completely. Like, holy shit. Lando is so insane, and I don't know what's up with Daniel, but yeah, he's had 1 or 2 good races, but the consistency isn't there yet.
I feel like Danny's slowly coming into flow, because he's like now actually doing midfield fights and shit. But like he isn't like on the level as Lando Norris. And like you have to say, Lando Norris with the last race, if he wouldn't have gotten the penalty, which was absolutely not justified.
That penalty is so unjustifiable. It's
like everybody, even Red Bull, the team that because of Red Bull they got the penalty.
Look at the International Sporting Code, right? Yeah. It's you have to leave room when he's on the better line and when he's claiming the corner, but when Lando went into the corner, he had the inside line, and Perez wasn't even in front of him. He wasn't even like doing the overtake, and he just decided to hold in and like see what happens. But obviously, if you're taking a right-hander, the car is going to push out to the left. Yeah, there's nothing like that's just natural.
Yeah.
That's just physics.
Yeah.
And obviously the track's gonna end at some point. So
Yeah, exactly. And so it was so unjustifiable.
and there wasn't contact. Holy shit, there wasn't even contact. How is that a penalty?
Yeah. And so like without the penalty, Lando would have like safe gotten a P2.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing to see him fight against Mercedes. Like against Lewis Hamilton and against Bottas, that was
the most wholesome moment in Formula One that I've seen in a long time. When Lewis was on radio and he was like, "Such a great driver, Lando." I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah. Anyway, that was a bit longer than 2 minutes, but
all right, that concludes.
Actually, that was 4 minutes because it was 2 races.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We're so cool. We're cool.
Yeah.
So that concludes 2 quick minutes with 20 quick drivers and a second session of 2 quick minutes with 20 quick drivers.
Alrighty.
Do we do the questions now?
I think we do the questions.
All right. So since Cedric prepared the questions last week, it was my turn to prepare the questions this week. And what I did, I wrote them down, but because I'm driving, I will not be reading the questions. While Cedric is holding the microphone into my direction. I will not be reading the questions because it's unsafe and we do not condone any aspect of using technology during driving. Focus on the road, stay in between the lines. All right. So Cedric will read my questions, but he will answer them by himself, and then we will talk about it.
So it's just going to be me doing a monologue.
Lewis asked.
So today, script. All right, first question. Because I said in the last podcast that I didn't enjoy bus rides, what is the best and the worst public transport that you would resort to? Best and worst. I personally enjoy long train rides the most. Because I don't know, I always feel like whenever I'm on a long train ride, it's just such a cool vibe because you have a comfy chair. You, I don't know, you have like okayish food. Like it's better than airplane food. You just have a nice seat. You have like Wi-Fi. You can like watch Netflix. And the good part about a train is you're in the train. Like you can't do anything about the time. It doesn't matter if you're late. It doesn't matter whatever. You're just sitting there. You can do whatever you want. You have time to waste. And it's just such a wholesome moment. Yeah. The worst... the worst, I'd say, is bus rides.
Bus rides?
Yeah. I don't like bus rides are just the thing is, since I live on the countryside, I always have to take the bus, and the bus is so inconsistent. Like it just shows up when it like feels like showing up. There's no like time schedule, or there is a time schedule, but it doesn't really stick to it, and sometimes it just doesn't even come. And so I have a hate against bus drivers, even though I like bus drivers, but I have a hate against bus rides. But bus drivers are cool. They like I get their vibe. They're just chill. Normally they don't like I don't have to show a ticket or anything. They just let me in, and it's just a friendly thing. But I don't like bus rides.
Yeah. For me, I am so my least favorite of public transport is also bus rides.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I don't like taxi rides either because they're super expensive and the taxi drivers, I can never sit in a taxi and not talk to them, but I don't give a shit about what they have to say. It's like, just, it's such an uncomfortable situation. So, but taxis aren't really public transport, so I will go with buses. For me, my favorite public transport is either plane rides, but they are not like on the verge of CO2 and like, that's fine. But what I've come to love ever since I lived in Frankfurt is tram rides. Tram rides because you're going at a slow pace. You can look outside. You can see the city. It's like you're in another world. It's like you've got aircon and you can have like a drink or something, and you just sit there and watch people and watch what's going on, and like it's pretty cool. It's like almost as wholesome as your long train ride, except that you're not watching Netflix and like wasting time, but you're Yeah, you're actually watching what's going on, and I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
But not every city has it. Like Stuttgart, for instance, they don't have it,
Yeah.
or they have U-Bahn,
But,
but they go on top as well a bit, but it's not the same thing as a tram.
Yeah. That's actually fair enough. No, but going back to taxis,
Yeah.
I have such a hate for trains now as well. Like short train rides, not long train rides.
You in public transport.
Yeah.
Isn't a good thing.
Like I don't even know what I did wrong. Anyway, I was in Stuttgart last night, and we were just like bar hopping a bit, just having a good time, and then like time goes by. It was like 2 a.m, and I was like, okay, you know what? Right now it's nice again because night like transport goes again, or it should go again. Like in the schedule it says that it's gonna go, and so like every hour or so I normally have a connection, and then I was like, okay, at 2 I think my connection was like at 2:30, so like we started walking there, walked early so that we could actually make it to the train without any stress. And then we were at the train station sitting there already, still had to wait like 20 minutes, waited those 20 minutes. Like the train was like written on the tally. It was just said like, yeah, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Like it said it's gonna come in 2 minutes, and then just like disappeared. I'm like, wait,
No train came.
no train came, and I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Are you sure that you just didn't miss it?
I'm quite sure.
Where's the train?
Yeah, falls asleep. Is like, train what? Anyway, so train doesn't show up. I'm like, okay, weird, but fine. Like it's Stuttgart. Then we just went out again, chilled a bit outside, went for a walk. We had to wait, like we had an hour to kill because we had to wait for another hour, and it was night. But Stuttgart, there's a lot of things to do. And so we killed the hour, and then I was like, okay, 3:30 comes along. Let's go down. Be early enough. I don't want to miss the next train because I actually wanted to go home. We sit there again.
There's a point at every night out where you just realize it's like I just don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go home now.
I was already a bit like salty because I didn't get the train before. Like by that time I could have already been in bed.
Yeah.
And I was still in Stuttgart sitting there.
You know what I would always do when like in Frankfurt,
Yeah.
I would always take the U-Bahn home, but the U-Bahn that would go at night would not go to the stop that I needed to go to, but like 2 stops early, and then it would end.
Yeah.
And I always thought like, if I were to take the U-Bahn, then I could make it into bed by this time. So I'm gonna run now. And then I would just run 2 U-Bahn stops just in order to be in bed earlier.
Oh God.
This is the logic.
He was in bed earlier.
I just sprint.
Yeah. I think that's just drunk logic.
Yeah, it's just drunk.
But anyway, 3:30 comes along. Same situation. It was written on the tally. Everything was fine. And then I was like, okay, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Already like, you know, on the tally when it says that the train's gonna come and it pops up, like it goes big, and then it says like it's arriving shortly.
Yeah.
And then it disappears again. I'm like, the fuck? Like,
why you want some fun?
Yeah. Like, where's these trains going? Is there like a hole in the? Yeah. Especially like if the trains are canceled, then like why isn't it written on the tally? Why is it saying that it's gonna arrive shortly, and then it doesn't come?
That's so annoying.
So then that happened. Then I already was pissed off. I was like, you know what? Like I lost it.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, what are we gonna do? Let's wait. Let's just wait and see. So we waited again, and then we were like, okay.
Oh, and I hate waiting so much.
Yeah, especially if you already waited for like 1.5 hours,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I want to sit in this train and I want to go home. But yeah, anyway, that happens, and then we were like, okay, other options, like how do we get home from Stuttgart? I live quite far out, so it's like always a bit hard. So then we were like, okay, maybe we can just take the other train, like the other S-Bahn that drives to the airport, and then we can just take a taxi from there. So then we wait for the one that goes to the airport, and guess what happens? It disappears.
It seems like this is a
Yeah.
recurring pattern.
And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, I already had lost it. And then we just went up, and then eventually it was like 4:30. And like, bear in mind, I wanted to go home at 2, and it was 4:30. So I was like, I was in the city 2.5 hours longer than I actually wanted to. And then we were like, okay, let's just take a taxi. Guess how much it cost?
I don't know. Like 50?
No.
No.
78 euros.
78
78 euros.
Fuck.
That was like, do you know how expensive that is?
Yeah.
For 78 euros, I can go karting 2 times. Like, what
And
the
way
hell?
more fun.
And way more fun. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was, I only got home at like 5. Really, really annoyed, but
Really
happens.
knackered.
Yeah, really knackered. Anyway,
Oh, man.
that's okay. That's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
So that was question 1 of quick questions.
All right, question 2. With the summer break being around the corner, what was the one thing that you were most excited about as a kid doing during the summer break? All right, so
So what? So
yeah,
basically,
what
like,
as
a kid, just imagine
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
12 years old again.
I'm
You have your last day of school. There's ice cream. You're super happy. What were you most excited about to do during your summer holiday?
I'd say
And like, obviously, not like travel or like
Yeah.
not those Lisa answers.
like yeah.
legit.
Like, I would say travel, but that's too mainstream.
Yeah.
I feel like the summer holiday was always going into the Freibad.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know
Yeah.
what's you know what's funny? That's exactly what I thought about when I wrote this question. I was like, because when I was 12 or 13 years old, I was so excited to go to the Freibad just to send it off of the jumping towers
Yes.
for the entire day. Like,
Yeah.
no lunch, no break, just up, down, up, down,
Yeah.
up, down. The entire
yeah,
day.
that was such a wholesome like moment when you could just like the whole day. It was just the vibe of like being outside, having a nice like pool, diving, like doing all that fun stuff, doing flips, doing shit.
Yeah.
And it was such a nice feeling. But yeah, so basically, Freibad. But I actually haven't been in like a Freibad in so long.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Dude, we have to go send it again soon.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow?
What are you doing right now?
We're actually on our way to a Freibad. All right. When you're hot, what is a good life hack to cool off quickly? I'm always hot. Like,
No,
I don't get the question.
I
Like,
mean, like when you're
yeah, I
warm,
know.
When you're hot.
Like,
Sorry, there's no cure for me.
I put shades on.
That makes me. It's like I'm hot now, but now I'm. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was so cheesy.
All right. I don't know. Right now, like right in this moment. No, not in this moment, but like at this, not at this time. During this time period of
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah.
we just prepared our pool like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I actually just quickly hop inside the pool, and then I'm like nice.
Refreshed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how to cool off when you have a pool. That doesn't really require much of a life hack.
It's like for everybody life hack. If you're warm, just jump in the pool. If you don't have one, then tough luck. So yeah, that's what I do. Rich people problems.
The reason I came up with this question is because at home we bought one of those spray bottles, and we spray ourselves and then we just stand in the fan, and that cools you off instantly. It's pretty legit.
I can see you have it like in your calendar. It's like, babe, it's time. Get the water bottle. Get the spray can.
Get the spray bottle.
Oh god.
no.
Yeah. All right.
Question 4.
So that's a life hack for all the poor people.
Yeah, for the richies, just jump the pool.
Yeah.
Richies are like, I don't get this problem.
Yeah. All right. You wake up
What
in
do
the.
you mean you're hot? It's aircon.
Yeah. Oh god. All right. You wake up in the morning. Sun is shining. You are relaxed and freshly showered. You get in the car and you're on your way to uni. What song do you choose to listen to? That's a toughie. What type of uni day is it?
A chill one, sunny.
Because,
It's
like,
not an exam.
yeah, because
Just chill. Like you have like 1 or 2 lectures, and then you're gonna meet with your buddies for a beer. That type of day.
is that before or after the lectures?
During.
You meet with your buddies for a beer during the lectures.
And after, no, like
And,
I mean,
yeah,
you have like a morning lecture, and then you have plans
Fair
to
enough.
go to the beer garden.
Fair enough. Personally, I haven't had that experience yet. Been studying for like half of my 1/3 of my bachelor's almost, and haven't had that experience yet. But can imagine it. And
Yo, but if
what
like,
song?
if you were to go there today,
yeah.
what song would you listen to?
I think I would listen to something very chill. Probably the Weeknd's playlist, Weeknd 95.
Yeah.
What song? I think. What's a good song?
Okay, then let's make this easier. What genre?
Like just summer
Like
vibe.
tropical house.
Yeah, tropical house, a bit like beats
Yeah.
with like, yes.
So not heavy hip hop or
No. Like
'Cause I was thinking maybe Jimmy Ricard, because that song is just insane.
yeah,
But
but
it's not the vibe.
yeah,
it's not the vibe.
That's something that I would listen to when I'm like going to exam.
Yeah.
Cause then I'm like I'm hyping myself up. I'm like, okay, this is a vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah. So basically, something more chill. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely, 100% the Weekend 95 playlist. Because I
It's a playlist that some of his buddies created for a trip, and
a buddy of mine created it, and then he opened it up for everyone, and then
Yeah.
literally every time somebody finds like a good song that fits that genre, like tropical house and some like electro beats and like deep house stuff, then we just put it in there, and it's like the playlist is over 500 tracks long, like as of today. And so shout out to you, Max, for making that playlist, because we listen to it literally almost every day.
So yeah,
So then that.
that.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
And the last question.
Last question. Where we at? Where's your Stoke higher, Europa Cup or what is this question? Europa Cup or Formula One? Like, obviously Formula One. Like,
Not even a question.
yeah. No, I have to say, like there were some good. Oh, sorry. I just
Wait, check if the mic's still on.
hold up. Frank. Nope. But
Then just restart.
yeah, I restarted it.
Did it save?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Should be. Anyway, there were some really good matches. Also, like the other day, we were in the Irish pub called Biddy's. Pub called Biddy's.
We're in the Irish pub. In the Irish pub?
Or in the Irish pub. Nah, cause
Go to the pub.
yeah, one of my best friends.
Why, mate? Let's go to the pub.
One of my best friends, Tasha, she's English, and so obviously have like semifinals. When England played against Denmark, we went to public viewing and watched it live in a Irish pub.
Yeah.
Because a lot of English fans were there. I was actually for Denmark, so it was quite funny. Had to watch out because there's like British fans. They were quite engaged into their football. And so I had to watch out that I didn't get smacked or anything. But yeah, it was a fun night, and it was a very intense game because I think they went 1-1 into like verlängerung. Overtime, and then England got a penalty, and then they scored that. Well, like the goalie saved it, but they
got it on the
yeah,
rebound.
and
Harry
so
Kane.
Harry Kane got it, and yeah, like just super intense, and like the whole match was just very well played. So I did enjoy that, and I did enjoy that vibe.
Yeah.
But
The Stoke for Formula One is
yeah,
so much fun.
yeah. Like Formula One is just a whole weekend, and you're just like it's just so fun to watch. Yeah.
All right, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Because I thought of this and I couldn't decide whether or not to put it in or if I should keep the Formula One Euro Cup question. But I'm going to ask you anyway now. So we're going to do a sixth question. Do you tuck your pants up or do you just leave it?
Obviously, took him up.
Yeah, that's exactly my speech. But there's so many people that no, they would never tuck it up. Showing ankle is like, no, that's. I'm like, what? What?
It just makes it
What?
look so much better.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Like-
like an anti-white V-neck.
Yeah. It's not a Mario.
It's not a Mario.
No. Yeah, but honestly, like,
Yeah, I tuck my jeans up every single day,
yeah,
no matter the weather.
like, yeah. Even
Doesn't
if
matter.
it's freezing, the only thing, like, if it's actually freezing cold and I'm like shivering because it's that cold, because we're like on a night out and I don't have anything with me, then I like tuck them down once.
Yeah.
But still,
And hope that nobody sees.
yeah. I go into like a dark edge and I'm like, okay, let's do this fast. No, but on it, like, tuck them up. It's just, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm so on with that.
All right. Anyway, that's
That's almost it, yeah? Yeah, we've been recording for a long time.
a
now.
long time,
Yeah,
a
this
bit
is-
longer than normal.
This is a long episode.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did go on a, not, well, did we go on a rant? Do we call it a rant? Not really.
About?
Like Formula One and driving and
And taxis.
taxis.
Yeah,
and
like we got
It
off
was-
topic
yeah.
quite a bit today.
Yeah. This was more of a like
A chill chat.
chill chat. Yeah. That was more of a yeah. Let's talk about what happens. What really grinds our gears. Louis obviously being a bit pissed off because I beat him. Because he's a sore loser. No, I'm just
Fuck off.
Nah, but we'll keep you updated how the next go karting goes.
Yeah, I think
We're probably gonna go very soon.
we are going to go very soon, and I have the weird gut feeling that Cedric is going to beat me left, right, and center again because I don't know. I have this weird feeling. I can feel my nuggets, like the nut hairs are tingling.
All right.
It's
Great.
all right. Yeah, I think that's a good.
Yeah, that's a good time to end.
And on that note,
Uh,
with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We are elated that you guys are here and on this journey with us to making these episodes come to life. We are having a really good time making them, and I hope you guys are enjoying listening. Are you
Listening?
I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. And go follow our Instagram.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Go follow the Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on YouTube. If you guys are. I'm sorry.
Louis is having a very difficult time to speak right now.
I am having a very difficult time. These end notes
Yeah.
are really different. Maybe you should do those in the future. Actually, you do it.
All right. Love, peace, happiness. No, shout out to you guys. Thank you for watching. To all of the fans that are still there. And we're
You can watch us if you are listening to us
Yeah.
on Spotify. Come over on our YouTube channel and watch us because then you can see our beautiful faces, which is always worth a click.
yeah.
And it helps us. And if you've liked this episode, leave a like because that actually helps. And if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify. That really helps us grow this podcast. And we just want to have more people enjoy these fun conversations because we think we pretend we're funny.
Yeah. We get an E for effort.
We get an E for effort.
All right. Anyway, shout out. Peace.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.